Hey friends, Adam Charles, Place Real Estate Team, Oakwyn Realty. Happy September. The kids are back to school. Life has returned to a little bit of normality here. I wanted to just make sure I'm doing a great job of keeping you up to date on the stats, what we're seeing out there in the marketplace, what we're seeing there, boots on the ground. Obviously, big news this week with the Bank of Canada adjusting the overnight lending rate by 0.25%. So if you're on a variable rate mortgage, you'll be probably paying a little bit less next month, which is good news. Often the fixed rates follow the bond yields of the market, so there might not be as much variance on that as some people are expecting. So talk to your broker, get some advice on that if you're buying in the next little while. I think one thing to kind of bear in mind on more of a macro level is the Bank of Canada doesn't really want to reduce interest rates. You'll remember back during COVID, we reduced the rates significantly because for the one reason that they were scared that the whole economy was going to grind to a massive halt. So if we take that into account, obviously the Bank of Canada doesn't really want to reduce interest rates. They have to, they're forced to, because of really not an overly optimistic outlook for the economy. So maybe keep that in mind as a more of a macro picture. Let's get into some numbers. Average pricing, I'm going to talk about average sales first. The Greater Vancouver Real Estate Board was touting this month in their release that sales are up over 3% year over year, which is probably the only positive thing in the stats report this month. So sales for Greater Vancouver are up 3.5% when you compare this year to last year, and that's for August. Fraser Valley, sales were down 13%. Average pricing was down 3.7% if you look at Fraser Valley and, actually the whole of BC. If we delve into the markets that you and I work in, you and I live, the Greater Vancouver market prices were down 2.2% year over year, and the Fraser Valley was down 5.6% year over year. So, Greater Vancouver Real Estate Board trying to find some optimism in the numbers there, and that was the number of sales have increased slightly. And as anecdotal evidence, I am seeing more offers on our listings. We're seeing more showings. I don't have any stats to support that, but it just feels a bit busier out there. But my barber tells me I need a haircut all the time, so keep that in mind too. One thing, I've been having a lot of conversations with potential sellers this week, and this topic is coming up again and again, especially with the interest rate cuts. And that's the assumption that after these interest rates go down, the market's going to pick up and I'm going to get more for my home, which is probably not, it's not inconsistent. It's not a silly way to think. It's probably quite logical. And I had a conversation with a client that's looking to move up market this week. And we have a lot of clients that are like this. So this might resonate quite a bit with yourself. They're looking to sell their condo to move into a townhouse. Maybe it's townhouse to a half duplex, or condo or duplex to a single family home. So I went through this with a client, and let's just use generic numbers for now. Let's say their condo is worth $500,000. The house they're buying is $1 million. So they're suggesting that, let's say, if the market can go up, let's say 5% in the next 12 months, why don't we wait to get that extra $25,000 on our $500,000 condo? Great, absolutely. You banked 25 grand that you didn't have if you sold right now. Now let's assume in that same scenario that the $1 million house has gone up 5% as well. So yes, we've made $25,000 on the condo, we've paid $50,000 more for the house. Now I know these are very generic numbers, but I just want to get into that mindset of just thinking about the bigger picture here. In this scenario, the seller and the future buyer, they've actually essentially made a $25,000 loss for waiting. So I would encourage you, and this isn't the same for every market, it's not the same for every property type, so you've got to really crunch the numbers with your realtor. However, if you're thinking about making a move, with the deals that we're seeing in the marketplace today, with the increased level of inventory and sellers who are a little bit wary of what's going on in the market, now might be the time. So talk to your agent, talk to your mortgage broker, put a plan in place, but really crunch the numbers for the area or areas that you're thinking about selling and buying in. As always, my name's Adam Charles with the Place Real Estate Team. If there's anything we can do to be of service to you, feel free to reach out anytime. Make it a great day.